Hi, I'm Elise, this is Witch Way, and today I'll be taking you through the Witch Lore of Charmed, Season 1 and 2. Released in 1998, Charmed stars Shannon Doherty as Prue Halliwell, Holly Marie Combs as Piper Halliwell, and Alyssa Milano as Phoebe Halliwell. The Halliwell sisters, Prue, Piper, and Phoebe, discover they are witches. Not just any witches, but the charmed ones, destined to defeat evil using the power of three. The Triquetra features heavily in the series, representing the witch's power of three. It's also used by some modern practitioners to represent the triple goddess or the unity of three. And this symbol also appears on Kit the cat's collar.
Get it? Kit Kat? Little play on words.
Who almost acts like a familiar but is very rarely seen in the series. On their spirit board, used for communicating with those on other planes of existence, and on their Book of Shadows, which is how they access their powers.
I just read from the book and wham, I am Tabitha.
This is most likely referring to the character from the Bewitched TV series, or the spin-off series she spawned, Tabitha. I've yet to watch that one, but back to the book. A Book of Shadows describes a tome recording magical workings and apparently here, demons. I question why they named one of these demons Hecate, as she is a goddess that is usually associated with witchcraft. This Book of Shadows was apparently created in 1693, the year the Salem Witch Trials ended, and the trials are mentioned in the series.
Proving that they were the devil's disciples was no easy task for the court of the Salem Witch Trials, but a remarkable event occurred. One of the accused, Mary Esty, ran for the church to profess her innocence. Suddenly, there was a clap of thunder, and she was struck by a bolt of lightning. In the court's mind, God himself has spoken, forbidding the evil witch from even entering his house. The witches were subsequently convicted of heresy.
Morning.
And burned alive at the stake.
This is a fantastical description of the real-world accused Mary Esty, and accused witches were not burned in Salem, but hanged. Again, they preface burning in Salem when they mention the creator of the Book of Shadows. The Halliwell's ancestor, Melinda Warren, was said to have been burned. Perhaps her name too was inspired by another accused witch from the trials, Mary Warren. That Warren survived, but the Warren in the show was turned in by a warlock. These are some of the main antagonists in the show who kill good witches to gain their power. I guess warlock is a fitting term, as it sometimes means oathbreaker, as in the series, good witches aren't supposed to use their magic for personal gain. Apparently there is one way to identify a warlock.
Well, just prick 'em. Warlocks don't bleed, so if there's no blood, you got your answer.
Known as witch pricking, it was a favoured method of the Witchfinder General Matthew Hopkins. We of course have witches other than the charmed ones, though not all have supernatural powers like the three sisters. The charmed ones practice in secret, but some witches practice openly.
What a way to come out of the broom closet.
I've mentioned this phrase before as being used by those who start practicing openly. One character in the show is definitely out of the broom closet. Stevie, who runs a Wiccan coven, I'd like to think she was named after Stevie Nicks, who has super witchy vibes and who appeared as a witch in the Season 3 installment of American Horror Story Coven. You can check out my witch lore review of that one too. A majority of witches in the Charmed series, at least in Season 1 and 2, tend to follow the teachings and practices of the Wiccan religion.
A good witch follows a Wiccan reed, and it harm none, do what ye will.
There are many versions of this reed, and one of the first, if not the first, was published by Doreen Valiente, who usually goes uncredited with her additions to Gerald Gardner's works, which helped popularize Wicca in the 50s and 60s. Some Wiccan rituals are chosen to be practiced skyclad, as Piper and Phoebe find out when celebrating the autumn equinox with some local witches. And we can't forget the pentagram, a well-known symbol and one adopted by many witchcraft practitioners to symbolize the elements. And the charmed house resides at the very center of these. This house is gorgeous and immediately recognizable, so I was quick to spot it when it was used in another witchy film, The Love Witch. Head on over to check out my witch lore review on that one if you haven't already. It is now one of my favorite films. In the Charmed series, we also have some witches gone bad who aren't classified as warlocks. One turns into a succubus, another named Kali after a Hindu goddess was trapped in a mirror, and another just aims to destroy, Tuatha. Her name was probably inspired by the Tuatha De Danann. Sorry if I said that wrong. A supernatural people from Irish mythology. Tuatha comes across a group filming a documentary in the woods. This was a fun nod to the Blair Witch Project, and you can head over to my Blair Witch video for more on that legend. And the Halliwells themselves aren't immune to the lust for power, as one of their ancestors too went to the bad side. This was a fun flashback episode. There are many other magical beings not classified as demons or witches, so you can check out the series for more on those. This 1 and 2 series is yet to have a overarching story arc and relies on a Demon of the Week storyline. Charmed season 1 and 2 scores for lore, kind history, and the craft. As the Charmed ones, they have their own innate abilities. Prue has telekinesis, Piper can freeze people, and Phoebe can see elements of the future, but they are stronger together. Even then, they require incantations and potions for their vanquishing and spellcasting, and utilize scrying to find something they need. There is a lot more to come from the Charmed series. With 8 seasons consisting of around 22 episodes each, I thought it would be best to break them down into 4 parts, followed of course by the reboot series, which I have still yet to check out. What did you think of these series? Let me know in the comments below, as well as any other witchy recommendations for my witch lore reviews. If you like what I do, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you very much for watching here on Witch Way.